Hey everyone, I'm Daniel. I'm one of the Sui DevRel engineers, and today I'm going to quickly walk you through how to use our new Replay CLI tool. The Replay tool is a new tool in our Move development suite that will allow you to reconstruct past transactions on your local environments. This is really useful and will drastically reduce the amount of guesswork you have to make or manual debugging when looking into transactions that were executed on chain but are either failing or not doing the expected behavior. So it's a really quick and easy way to find bugs. So before we get started, I have to do some interactions on chain. I'm going to create a greeting object, which is a simple object with a text attribute. All right, so once I create this object, I'm going to fetch the digest that created this object. All right. And in the past, you may have just used our explorers for debugging, but sometimes it's very limited. For example, like if something was happening inside this move call, we wouldn't exactly know where it's going wrong, especially if there's branching or there's a bug, unexpected bug. You don't know what's happening. So this is what you get from the explorers is very limited. So that's why we're going to use the replay tool to get much more information. Okay, so I'm going to navigate to our coding environment. And another cool thing is that this replay tool is built into the Sui CLI. So if you already have the CLI, all you have to do is update it. Otherwise, install the CLI and you'll have it. So this is the command. I'm going to run this on testnet, but you can run this on mainnet as well. And I'm going to use the trace flag. This will allow us to actually go deeper into the transaction call and debug it, which you'll see in a moment. And the digest. All right, so we can see like some information here as if we had just deployed this for the first time, such as the created objects, gas information, and the object IDs that were involved in this transaction. But more importantly, we have this new directory called .replay, and this contains all of the digests all the transactions that we are currently replaying. And the more important file right now that we're going to pay attention to is the trace.json.zst. This is a file that's generated when we use the trace flag, and this will allow us to debug. So then you need to have the Mistin Labs move extension on VS Code installed, but once you do that, you'll be able to run the debugger. So I'm going to select move debug. All right, so this PTB is very simple. There's only one call, but this is exactly all we'd get to see on the Explorer. But with the replay tool, we can actually dive in and run the execution command by command. And this includes all of the internal calls as well. So now we are inside the on-chain contract that defines the greeting object. And we can see that it's going to create this new UID, which is for the object. So we can actually step down into that and now look into that function. And we can keep doing this until we get to the very bottom where a new address is called. And we can also track this on the side here with the call stack. We can see all of the functions that we traverse to get down to where we are now. And if there were variables, we'd be able to see them here as well. So we can just make our way through the function. And eventually it would end with this greeting object being created and shared on chain. So this transaction is pretty straightforward and it succeeds and works as expected. So there's not much to dive through. But imagine if you were building a much more complex protocol and you had some unexpected behavior or a failing transaction and you didn't know why. This would allow you to go step by step, command by command, and pinpoint the exact debugging without like any guesswork. All right. And like I said earlier, in addition to debugging, you can also run analysis on these transactions, such as gas profiling. I won't do that to save time for this video, but I'll leave the link to these docs and I'll let you try it on your own. Happy building.